Like most people my age, I basically grew up on the internet. It felt like I had seen it all. It was just the same mindless content now, and it had become unbearable. A normal person would likely just have taken a break from the internet and been outside with friends, but I'm not normal. I have always been kind of an outsider. I didn't get bullied or picked on or anything like that. I just didn't like people that much. I enjoyed the freedom that came with being alone. Dark and taboo topics have always intrigued my interest, and I enjoy exploring and learning about bizarre lore. I would watch and listen to these types of stories on YouTube throughout my day, like some sort of dark, twisted podcast. It gave me a sense of calm, which sounds bizarre when these stories were so horrific. I would also dive deep into disturbing rabbit holes that would make the average person lose all faith in humanity. My favorite kind of stories were those about the dark web. I have been fascinated with the dark web for as long as I have known about its existence. A dark underground where some of the most dangerous and deranged people meet anonymously. How could I not be intrigued? Despite my curiosity, I had made myself a promise that I would never enter the dark web myself. I was smarter than that. I had heard the stories, and I knew it was dangerous. And for me, that wasn't worth the risk. But as time went by, my urge to explore the dark web only grew stronger. One faithful night, my emotions got the better of me, and I decided to explore the dark web by myself, breaking the promise I had made, a lapse in judgment that would leave a lasting scar. I took all the safety precautions I could, but in hindsight, it wasn't enough. With my heart pumping, I loaded up Tor and connected. At first I was disappointed, a bit underwhelming to say the least. Just white web pages filled with nonsensical links. So, I decided to start clicking with no goal in mind, just for the sake of exploring. After about half an hour of clicking on links that either led to nowhere or nothing interesting at all, but then I found something that piqued my interest. It was a website with an all-black background, with just one word written on it: Enter. And right under was a field that I could type into. I tried typing hello and pressed enter, because why not? Nothing happened. My text just disappeared, and I could type once again. I was expecting some sort of wrong password message or something like that. But the fact that nothing happened at all was eerily creepy, and this only intrigued me more. I decided to try some other random combinations, and after the 7th or 8th try, I decided to take a break. My stomach was killing me, so I went downstairs to my kitchen to make my delicious homemade pizza for dinner, leaving the website open on my computer. After eating, I went back upstairs and decided to watch a movie on my TV, completely forgetting about my deep web adventure. Near the end of the film, I started to hear a strange voice that didn't seem to fit any of the characters on screen. I thought my TV might have glitched, so I turned it off to see if it would fix itself. After turning it off, I waited a few seconds before turning it back on. While waiting,
Hello?
I heard the same voice again, but my TV was still off. My heart dropped. I honestly thought I was going to have a heart attack. I have never experienced such pure dread in my life before. I must have screamed without even realizing it, because the distorted voice then said,
"Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to scare you."
I was completely frozen. He could hear me. How? How could he hear me?
"Jane."
How did he know my name? Why did it know my name? My head started spinning, and my vision became blurry, and then darkness. I woke up. I felt weird. I had this extreme feeling of primal fear running through my body. I was so confused and disorientated. What was happening? And then the terror slowly started coming back to me. My eyes snapped to my computer like a deer's in headlights. I remained completely still, analyzing my room for any noise. The distorted voice was still playing in my head. It was so deafening I couldn't tell if the voice was real or not. I was losing my mind, but I couldn't stay here completely still forever. After waiting a few minutes and convincing myself the voice was only in my head, I slowly started approaching my computer. As I was sneaking up on my PC, I peeked at my screen and saw nothing but my wallpaper. No dark web website. I was relieved. It must all have been some sort of super realistic fever dream or something. I was burning up at least. Still not completely convinced this had been a dream, I decided to check my applications folder and found that Tor was not installed. I exhaled what felt like all the air in my room, and I could finally relax a little. I sat in my chair in silence for what felt like ages, and then suddenly started uncontrollably laughing. My laughter then faded into nervous chuckles, and then complete silence once again. Hello. The last few days have been weird. Throughout my life, I have been struggling with sleep paralysis. But these happen on a somewhat rare occasion. But these last few days, I have been having an episode every single night, and it is always the same entity. A large man in a doll mask, that God-forsaken doll mask. Last night, I awoke and saw him once again, my whole body filled with dread. I lay there, paralyzed. It was a horrible experience, but at least I wasn't in any real danger. Or so I thought. My nose started itching. So I scratched it. It took me a couple of seconds of staring at the inside of my hand before I realized what I had just done. This was no sleep paralysis. I could move. Horrified, I slowly looked back up at the man, not trying to make any noise. What met my eyes will forever haunt me. Instead of pacing around my room like he had done earlier, he was now standing completely still, looking at me with those dead eyes. I became nauseous and everything started to fade. I must have blacked out again because next thing I know, I'm waking up and it's morning. I will call my doctor later. I think I might be going insane.
I did not expect my post to gain this much attention. Thank you for all the advice. I went to see the doctor, and it turns out I have been suffering from a psychosis episode due to stress, and everything I have been seeing has been hallucinations. I am on meds now, and I am doing fine. There is no need to try to contact my family. I have spoken with them, and they know I'm doing great. I have decided to take a vacation and a break from social media to help with my stress. I will come back stronger than ever. See you soon.